Welcome to Healing Whole, the podcast. I'm your host, Calli. I'm a certified personal trainer and fitness instructor. I also happen to be extremely passionate about holistic living. With close to 10 years of experience, I've worked with clients from all walks of life. I also know a healthy and holistic lifestyle can be a little overwhelming. I'm here to break it down for you and take you on my journey to healing whole. Remember, the materials and content within this podcast are intended as general information only and are not to be considered a substitute for medical advice or treatment. Welcome to Healing Whole Podcast Episode 2. I am really happy that you're here. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. It was just an introduction to what this podcast is going to be, kind of a brief overview of what's been going on with me and kind of where this all came from. So if you didn't listen to the first episode, I'll just recap quickly. So the idea behind Healing Whole is I'm healing whole and I'm taking you on this journey with me. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in November of last year, and I am just learning how to live a more holistic lifestyle in addition to what I was already living. So I was already living a fairly holistic lifestyle. I'm incorporating it even more now to benefit my mental health. So that's kind of where this all came from. So I'm healing whole, and if you're enjoying holistic living or want to enjoy holistic living, I'm here to bring it to you and bring you along the way and have you learn, and have fun with it. So in the future, we'll have guests on the show. Today, it's just going to be me again. Today, I'm going to talk about self-care routines. I've already talked about this a lot, but I wanted to kind of emphasize it some more. Some self-care routines, and then also how important your diet is to your mental health. So let's talk about self-care routines first. I don't know if you have one, but you should. I don't know if you know who Tony Robbins is, but Tony Robbins says if you don't have 10 minutes a day for yourself, then you don't have a life, which is very true. You have to take care of yourself. You can't fill from an empty cup. Or pour, I'm sorry. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't fill from an empty cup either. You can't fill anybody else's cup if your cup's empty. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to sometimes put yourself first, and that's okay. And that's something that it took me until I was really sick and this diagnosis to learn that I have to put myself first, or I won't be able to take care of my daughter, or I won't be able to be a good friend or a good partner or a good daughter. I have to take care of me in order to help others and to be my best self and to have the life I want to have. So I started, a huge part of my self-care routine was taking a mental health break and going to stay with my parents in Florida for a few months, which I'm still here now. I was having a panic attack one Saturday night, and I decided the next day, with the love of people closest to me and the support of people closest to me, that the best thing for me to do would be to come to Florida and be with my parents and just kind of block out everything else in the world except for me getting better. And that was very hard for me. I feared for rejection and the idea of people being mad or upset with me. I feared they wouldn't love me anymore. So that took me a very long time to get over, to even begin to start healing. And I feel like I'm finally on my way to that. I'm seeing things a little bit clearer. I'm feeling a little bit better. My mood is better for the most part. I also have adjusted my medication many times since then. But that was a huge part of my initial self-care routine, was literally stepping out and taking kind of a vacation. It hasn't really been a fancy vacation where you go and do all this nice stuff. Not that I don't, but I don't. I just kind of hang out, go to the beach, do a little work here and there. Just really working on more of taking care of myself. So what I did start, and honestly, I'm not really sure why I started this. I know there were things I wanted to do every day, so I think I just started writing them down. But every single day, I write down these same things, and I write down this list of 10 things to do to take care of myself. So the first thing I do is I write my intentions for the day. So I write down how I want the day to be. So for example, on February 7th, I wrote, today will be about me, because I wasn't putting myself first. Today I will be strong. Today I will love myself. Today I will be happy. Today I will be abundant. Another day I wrote, today will be fulfilling. Today will be healthy. Today will be productive. Today will be loving. Today will be playful. So I write different things down all the time. Today I will look inside. Today I will love myself. Today I will be at peace. Today I will take care of me. Today I will be healthy. So I set 5 intentions for each and every day. How I want the day to be. I write it down so I can make it a reality. Setting intentions for your day is huge. You have to set intention, because what if you wake up in the morning and think, oh, today's going to be crap? So you're going to have a crappy day. So I set intentions that are positive. I reinforce so much positivity in my life, even when I don't want to. So I really have no other choice but to be positive even on bad days, and to see that my bad days really aren't that bad. So the first thing I do is set my intentions for the day. The next thing I do is I write positive affirmations. So I am love, I am kindness, I am peace, I am beautiful, I am healed. Some other ones are I am consistent, I am success, I am abundance, I am strong, I am love. I'm very much strong, healing, love kind of thing. So I'll just write different ones down. Today I wrote, I am a kind and beautiful soul. I am accomplished. I am success. I am strong. I am loved and worthy of love. Because that's always been a struggle with me, feeling like I'm worthy of love. I always feel like I love more than I get loved. And I need to be loved and be accepted, and I don't really. But that was a feeling I used to have. So those are the 2 things I start with every day. And the next one I have been doing for years. I got pregnant with Annalise. Her dad and I split up. And I was very hopeless, and I was very dark, and it wasn't looking good for me. And I would just pray to God every night, but I wouldn't pray to ask for anything. I would pray for the things I'm grateful for, because I thought, well, I can't be miserable if I'm grateful. I can't be sad if I'm grateful. So every night I would think of things, even though I couldn't. There was really, on my mind, nothing good in my life. I would thank God for the bed that I was sleeping in. I would thank God for the money to pay for the apartment I was living in, and the roof over my head. I would thank God for food. I would thank God for my body. I would thank God for this baby. So there were really a lot of good things, even though I couldn't see them. And that got me through the darkest times, some of the darkest times of my life. Just thinking about the things that I'm actually grateful for and how much I really do have. And that's a huge thing. Just think, if you're having a really bad day, yesterday I flushed my car key down the toilet. Talk about a crummy day. And I had a few other things happen, and I sat there and I thought, well, I have a home, I have this, I have that, I have a future, I have a daughter, I have all these things that are really good. So all these bad things that happened today, is it really that bad? And I came to the conclusion that it wasn't. So I went to bed a little earlier last night, and I woke up earlier today, and I feel great. So it's just a matter of putting things into perspective. And if you can sit there and thank God, or thank the universe, or thank whatever you want to thank for the things that you have, and even thank the universe for the things that you want in your future. So you're manifesting it, but thank whatever you want to thank for that, and be grateful for that, because it's very hard to be negative in a grateful mood. So that's the third thing I do every day. I'm grateful for Annalise's love. I am grateful for my knowledge in nutrition. I am grateful for my holistic background. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my loving heart and forgiveness. Days I say I'm grateful for my family. I am grateful for the roof over my head. Sometimes I just write I'm grateful for water. I'm grateful for friends. You just, whatever you can think of that you're grateful for. I write 5 of those down each day. So I write 5 intentions, 5 affirmations, and 5 of what I'm grateful for today. And then next to that, I write my to-do list. And on that to-do list are my intentions, my affirmations, and what I'm grateful for. So, don't you feel really good when you've accomplished something? I know I do. So I've already accomplished 3 things on my to-do list of 10. So I'm already well on my way to accomplishing all my to-dos on my list. And I feel good about that. So I start the day already feeling good because I already accomplished some things. So on my to-do list, I write intentions, affirmations, grateful, read, write, listen. So we'll move on to those 3. Read, write, and listen. Why do I want to do those each day? I want to read something that's going to educate me, because if you're not learning or you're not growing, you're dying. I want to write because writing helps my mental health and helps my mood and helps me kind of keep track of what happened that day and how I reacted to this certain situation, or how this happened or how that happened, and helps me see in depth into why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. The next is listen. So I want to listen to something motivational every single day. So every day I take 5 minutes, even if it's not 5 minutes, sometimes it's only 3, and listen to something motivational or educational. Usually I try to do both because I want some motivation in there to really get me pumped up for the day and to make me feel good about myself and to make me feel pride and excitement for the future and what the future is going to hold. 1 second. Sorry, my mouth gets dry. I have to take a drink. But anyway, so I listen to something. So Tony Robbins is really good to listen to. Denzel Washington, Jim Carrey, Oprah Winfrey. Those are all ones I've listened to in the past. And I love hearing them. You can even just put, I think, Above Inspiration is a good one I follow on YouTube. And they always have good ones coming up. There was a good one on Tim Tebow and his John 3:16 black eye blacks or blackout, whatever you call them, that they put under their eyes. That was a really good story. It made me cry in the car. But it was a good cry. So every day I read to grow, I write to grow, and I listen to grow. So those are all things that are helping me grow and to become a better version of myself. And I do that for myself, even if it's only usually 5 minutes of each. Even if I only read a page of a book and it takes me 5 minutes because I'm a slow reader and I like to make sure that I have understood every single word I've read, I'm fine with that. At least I have done it. The next two are meditate and move. So I don't know if you know much about meditation. I started meditating about a year ago. I've been trying to practice mindfulness for a very long time, and it took me until I ran across Dan Harris and the 10% Happier podcast and the 10% Happier app to really get into meditation. And now I do it a lot. Not a lot every day. I do it every day, though. A little bit every day. So 5 minutes in the morning, I'll try to do either when I wake up or after breakfast or after I work out. I like mindful walking. I like to meditate while I walk, so I'll just concentrate on the ground in front of me and walk and listen to a meditation and be mindful of how my body's feeling. I like mindful movements. I am still trying to get on the mindful eating, but I eat a little too fast for that. But I do want to try it. I usually forget. I remember by the end of my meal that I wanted to do mindful eating, but slow down. Meditation is a big part of me being mentally healthy. So once I started meditating, it was easier for me. I had a lot of anger because I was sick. It made it easier for me to stop before I did something that I maybe didn't want to do, or stop before I said something I maybe didn't want to say. Meditation has been a huge part in helping me with that. It forces you to stop and hear your thoughts. So we're constantly talking to ourselves all day long, and we're usually not thinking about it, but meditation forces you to stop and think about what you're thinking. Is that productive? Do I really want to acknowledge that thought, or do I just kind of want to let it go? So that's a lot about being mindful. I also really like loving kindness or metta meditation. I'm a huge love and peace kind of thing. And loving kindness is just sending love to yourself, to someone you love, to someone you don't really know, to someone you are having disagreements with, and to the entire world. So you say some kind of version of I am happy, I am healthy, I am peaceful, I am loving kindness, or I'm trying to think what the other way to say it is. I'm well? No. Happy, peaceful. Oh, loved. You're going to say loved. I'm happy, I am healthy, I am peaceful, I am loved. So some kind of version of that you would say, and you go through yourself and you say it so many times, and then you envision someone you love sitting in front of you, or someone you have high regards for, and you think and say it to them and you send it to them. And then you think of someone you're disagreeing with and you send it to them. And then you think of someone you don't really know, like the person who serves you coffee in the coffee shop, and you send it to them. And then you send it into the entire world. And it just feels really good. It feels really good, and it goes by very fast. By the time you get through, you've had 15 minutes in, and you're done meditating. And it just feels really good to send that love out. So I really like meditating. I suggest the 10% Happier app or podcast or both. I suggest Aura, Aura. It's a free app that you can get free meditations on. YouTube has lots of apps. You can look up Deepak Chopra, Chop, Chopra, CHOP. I think there's a K in there. I'll look that up. Give me 1 second and I'll look it up. But Deepak is a good one. Headspace is also a good app. Chopra, I was right. Okay, Deepak. The K is in Deepak. DEEPAK. Chopra, CHOPRA. You can go on YouTube, and I will sometimes just listen to his meditations before bed. But meditating and being mindful has made a huge impact on my mental health and how I treat myself and others. It makes me a nicer person and a kinder person and a more patient person. And being patient is something very important that I am working on. And it's coming slowly but surely. Moving on to the next to-do I do every day is move. So every day I try to move in some kind of way, whether it be take a 30-minute walk or take a 10-minute walk or get up and do a few exercises or stretch or do yoga. But every single day I try to do some kind of movement, even if it's not a hardcore, intense workout. It took me a long time to forgive myself for not doing a hardcore, intense workout every time I worked out. But it's okay for me just to take a walk. And it's more for my mental health. I feel so much better when I just go for a walk and come back and get to listen to music, get to zone out, get to meditate a little bit. I feel really good. So just get up and move for even 10 minutes a day. I don't care if you walk around your living room for 10 minutes a day or you do some sit-ups and some push-ups and a plank. Just get up and move. Do some kind of movement every single day for your health, because the most successful people in the world take care of their health first. I can guarantee that. They do something for their health to ensure that they're mentally healthy, and physical health has a lot to do with mental health. So just get up and move and do something to make yourself feel good. The next thing I do, which we're going to get into next, is eat well. I struggled all my life with an emotional attachment to food. So when we were happy, we ate. When we were sad, we ate. I'm talking about my family. When I was happy, I ate. When I was sad, I ate. When I felt like crap, I ate. When I felt good, I ate. I would treat myself. You know, it was just a vicious cycle of constantly eating foods that weren't properly fueling me because I just had this crazy emotional relationship with food. And it was until I realized how good I felt fueling my body with proper nutrition, opposed to how bad I felt fueling my body with not so great nutrition, that I really decided, okay, this is enough. I feel so much better when I don't drink alcohol. I feel so much better when I limit my carbohydrates. I feel so much better when I eat whole food-based products. Whole food-based products, should I even say products? Because they're not really products. Whole food-based foods. Eating everyday protein, fruits, vegetables, little fruit. That's just for me. So less amount of sugar. Little fruit, vegetables, little amount of carbs, but I've been trying to stay away from potatoes and rice, which I ate more of before, and it's really making a difference. I also watch my caffeine. I watch my dairy. I do eat some dairy every single day, but not every single day, but I do drink heavy whipping cream in my coffee every single day. But I am working very hard to focus on whole food-based nutrition. And honestly, gluten had a huge part of my anxiety. So I know when I drink beer, I get anxious immediately the next day, even if I just have one. But I noticed that having gluten and sugar really affected me a lot. Caffeine doesn't affect me as much as food does. I thought it did, but as I experimented some more, I don't really believe that it was that. I think it was having too much sugar and too much too much sugar and too much gluten. So for me, cutting that out has been a huge benefit. Going keto, so a ketogenic diet, which is low carb, high fat, has been huge for me. And I'll go into that more later. So eating well. Eat what the earth makes for us. Eat what is whole. Eat what is real. Eat what is nutritious. Eat what you would want your kids to eat. So try it. I know it seems hard, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. It'll benefit your mood immensely. Anyway, we'll go into nutrition more later. I don't want to keep harping on that because I'm going to talk about it separately. But the last one is be kind to you. So my 10th one is be kind to you. And why is that important? because I personally, and I'm sure many of you are so stinking hard on yourselves. And I am so hard on myself. If I do one thing wrong, I will obsess over it for days. For days. Oh, I did this wrong. This person's not going to like me. Oh, I did this wrong. It's going to cause this ripple effect. Oh, I did this wrong and I'm a bad person. Or just anything. Anything I could find that would be, a negative thing about me, I would harp on. I didn't eat good today, I'm horrible. I didn't exercise today, I'm horrible. I didn't meditate today, I'm horrible. I just was constantly so hard on myself, especially with this whole, and I wrote about this week in my blog. I wanted to be the person who didn't need medication. So for me, I was so hard on myself that I needed medication, or like in medicating my daughter. When she gets sick, I would just, fight with myself. Fight with myself on what to do for her. And finally, I just gave it up, and I'm going to do a little bit of both. It's fine. Medicine is there when you need it. Conventional medicine is there when you need it. It doesn't need to be all the time. At least for me, I don't want it to be all the time. If you do, that's totally fine. But it's there when I need it. And if I don't need it, I'll heal naturally. And that's totally fine. Whatever you choose is fine. It's your life. And again, it's my life. And you just need to be kind to yourself. And I need to be kind to myself. And I need to be understanding that life is freaking hard. And we are getting through it every single day. And that is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So be kind to you. Be kind to others. Be kind to people you love, people you don't like so much. Just be kind, because it's going to help your mood and boost your mood and make you a happier, healthier person. And just forgive yourself for things that you have done in the past, or forgive yourself for something you did today. I'm sure you're much kinder to other people than you are to yourself. I know I am. And I need to treat myself like I treat other people, because I would be way nicer to myself. So I'm trying to do that now. I'm being more forgiving of myself. I am being kinder to myself. I am letting go of things that I don't do perfectly and being happy with what I do and how I do it. So yeah, that's my list of 10. So every day I write down my intentions for the day, my affirmations, what I'm grateful for. I try to read for at least 5 minutes. I write for at least 5 minutes. I listen to something motivational or educational or both. I meditate for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. I move, so just some kind of form of movement, exercising usually I try to do at least 30, but hey, if you only have 5, do 5. I try to eat well every day, and I try to be kind to myself every day. And do I do all of those things every single day? Heck no, I don't. But most days I do, and I try very hard to do that and stick with that. And that is my self-care routine. And that literally, I have figured out the math that it might take 2 hours a day to do all that, if that. It may only take 1 hour a day. Takes 1 to 2 hours a day, depending on how long you work out, to do all of that. Really. That's such a small percent of your day. Why aren't you doing it? Why wasn't I doing it? You have to take care of yourself. You have to put yourself first sometimes. It is not selfish. It is selfless. You have to be the best version of yourself and the best person you can be in order to be there for other people. And I don't know anybody in this world that doesn't want to be there for other people. Be there for your kids, be there for your family, be there for your parents, for your significant other, for whoever it is. But you have to be able to just say, I need 10 minutes for myself. I need to do this for myself. Be brave and say, I need to do this for myself. And be brave and do my to-do list. That movement one might be really hard for you. It might be scary. Oh, I really want to join the gym, but I'm just scared. Be brave and join that gym, because you are going to feel 100 times better after that first workout, and after that second workout, and after that 10th workout, when you're starting to feel like, oh man, I'm really starting to feel better and look better. Be brave and eat well. I know it's scary. I know there's so much out there with nutrition. Buy a book and, follow the recipes in the book and make it easier for yourself. Buy one with a meal plan. But just, you have to be brave and start. That's all you can do is start. And if you don't do it perfect every day, who cares? The only person that needs to see that list is you. You're not proving yourself to anybody else. You don't have to prove yourself to yourself. You just need to do your very best you can, your own very best, not anybody else's, not what I think, not what your neighbor thinks, not what anybody else thinks. Do the best that you can do for you. So just be brave and take a chance on doing some kind of self-care routine every single day, because it is so worth it. So the next thing I want to go into is how a whole food-based diet can affect your brain. So currently I'm doing keto. A ketogenic diet is, like I said earlier, a high-fat, low-carb diet. So why would you want to do this? Carbohydrates, things like breads, pastas, potatoes, rice, some vegetables, and some fruits, most fruits, have carbohydrates. Carbohydrates turn into sugar in your body. So when you're eating them, it's turning into sugar. So our body is burning that sugar for fuel. So what happens if we take that sugar and eliminate it or limit it? What does it have to burn? When you go on a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet, you're eliminating all that excess sugar and you're increasing the fat. So what your body is forced to burn for fuel is fat. So instead of burning that sugar for energy, it's going to burn fat for energy, and also it's going to burn stored fat for energy, so it's going to help burn the fat that you have in your body. Another reason to do this kind of diet is because our brains love fat. They function better with a high-fat diet. It has been proven to help with seizures. And keto has a ton of benefits, but the whole seizure one is huge for me because I don't have seizures, but they do prescribe the same medication and it's not the one I'm on, but they prescribe the same medication for seizures as they do for bipolar disorder. So I'm just thinking in my head that if it's helping with seizures, maybe it's going to help with my bipolar disorder. And so far, I am enjoying it. And a lot of that also is a whole food-based diet. So when I say whole food-based, I mean literally like real foods, like whole foods, like not broken down into packaged processed foods, like a piece of steak, leafy greens. I'm trying to think what else I eat in a day. My goodness. Pieces of meat, just real cheese that doesn't have a bunch of junk in it. Real heavy whipping cream that's just authentic and real from the cow. So foods that come in their whole form or very close to their whole form and don't have a lot of added ingredients. So always look on the back. Usually if it has over like 5 or 6 ingredients, you probably don't want to get it. If you don't know what the ingredients are, you probably don't want to get it. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, you probably don't want to get it. It should just be plain things, like peanut butter should just be the nuts. Basically just grinded down nuts. Sometimes they add salt, but that's it. That's what peanut butter should be. They add so much palm oil, sugar, everything into it. It's very hard to find peanut butter that doesn't have that in it. So you have to buy literally just the nuts that are ground down. Or like if you get yogurt, just buying the yogurt, not with added sugar or with all these added other ingredients. Just there should be like 3 to 5 ingredients on it, and that's it. I'm trying to think what else would have a lot of ingredients. Different juices and things like that add so many ingredients. It's better to just do it on your own. I'm a huge proponent of juicing. I do like to eat breakfast, but I'm normally not hungry in the morning, so I'll have a juice instead. I've been enjoying celery, lemon, ginger, and cucumber juice, and it's about 10 carbs, so it's lower on the carb end. That does seem like a lot of carbs when you're only getting 30 carbs a day on keto, which I did not mention that you wanted kind of limited to 30 carbs a day. But that doesn't seem like a lot, but if I'm having 10 for breakfast, 10 with lunch, 10 with dinner, that kind of balances out. So things like that. You want to stay out of the middle of the store and, walk around the perimeter. Eat what's real. If it doesn't need to be cooked or cooled, it's probably not real. I'm not talking about the canned foods. I mean, I get canned tomato sauce, I get canned peanut butter, I get canned coconut milk. Things like that are okay. Nut flours, coconut flour, if you want to add that into your diet as well. But predominantly, you want to be getting vegetables, fruits, organic grass-fed, real, like, meat that is not totally prepackaged, doesn't have added things in it, probably isn't in the freezer section. If it's in the freezer section, it should just be the meat. Eggs that are free range, milk that is organic. So always try to get organic if you can. If you can't, just try to get things that don't have a ton of ingredients in them. So our bodies, food is our fuel. Our bodies live off of food. So we need to fuel it like that's true. Putting in junk food is just going to make us feel junky. So how this correlates to how our brain function is, not only is keto going to, help you because you're doing a higher fat-based diet and our brains like fat and it's burning fat instead of sugar and you're not having that influx in sugar levels and those crashes and that brain fog. So it's all helping with that. But just eating a more whole food-based diet is going to help because you're eating real food. You're eating really nutrient-dense food. So when you get a prepackaged like a box of food or something, or something canned or frozen, it's not as nutrient dense. When you're eating it in real form, cooking it or not cooking it, you're getting a very high nutrient dense quality food, and that's fueling our body. It would be like putting water with a little bit of gasoline in your body or putting straight gasoline in your body. It's going to make your body run much more efficiently if you are eating quality foods. And I know that people like to say that it's expensive, but I ain't no rich girl over here and I can afford it. You just have to figure out what your priorities are. Do you want to feel good and spend more money on food? Or do you want to feel bad and save money on food? I mean, that's what it's about. You have to be willing, to be brave enough to make this commitment to yourself that you are going to eat better. If I'm highly, highly, highly suggest eating a whole food-based diet, eating what's in season, eating what's real and nutritious if you want to improve your mood. If you don't have, you don't even have to have anxiety, depression, bipolar, whatever, just to improve your mood. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to make you feel good about yourself. You're going to have a better relationship with food, just eating more intuitively and eating what feels good in your body and just being more aware of what you're putting in your body. Just having that better relationship with food so you aren't having this love-hate like, oh, I'm forcing myself to diet. Oh, I'm not dieting today. Oh, I'm cheating. I hate the word cheating. You're not cheating. You're just relaxing. Whatever it is. You're not having that relationship with food. You're having a healthy, intuitive, mindful relationship with food because you're eating what's real and what's whole and what feels good to your body, not what makes you feel bad. So just I know it's a lot, it's to learn. And it seems very scary. But honest to God, if you just go buy a book, that's how I started. I mean, I had always been on my mom was on Weight Watchers when I was in school. So I went on Weight Watchers with her. So I kind of started to learn then. So I was always kind of on some stupid diet. Or eating foods that were 100-calorie packs and things like that until low fat, the fake sugars, things like that. I was always eating that until I picked up a practical paleo book. I have no clue why I even did it. Picked up a paleo book, which just happened to be called Practical Paleo, which is the author I love, and fell in love. And learned so much. Real food is fuel for our body. Fake food is not. We should not eat things that are fake, that are processed, that you wouldn't, we shouldn't eat that kind of stuff. It's not the right thing for us. It's not fueling our body. So low fat does not mean you're not going to gain fat. That is a myth. Fat will not make you fat. Eating unhealthy food, eating junky food makes you fat. Eating good, healthy fats like nuts and eggs and butter, that's real quality butter, and avocado, that is not going to make you fat. It's going to be fuel for your body to burn, but it is not going to make you fat. Eating processed junky food is what's going to inhibit you from losing weight or from being mentally healthy. I just so highly suggest eating a whole food based diet if you suffer from any kind of like mental stress at all. I don't even like to say suffer. I always say that. Survive from any kind of mental stress at all. Um, I can just tell you from experience the difference I feel. So I'll tell you a little story. I went totally keto. Was feeling freaking great. I was feeling so good, but I had to take a trip, and I thought I prepared for the trip, and I did not prepare enough for the trip. Um, I ate good on the trip to where I was going, but then when I got there, I wasn't eating bad. Like I was eating probably the standard American diet. I wasn't eating um, really crappy food and fried food and processed food and fast food, but I was eating more carbohydrates. I was eating more sugar, and I wasn't eating as quality. Not that it wasn't quality, but as quality. I wasn't organic. I wasn't grass fed. I wasn't eating that as much. And let me tell you how my mood felt afterwards. So that entire week, I was just kind of like, ooh, felt very anxious, felt like brain foggy. 3 days after the trip, I felt so bad. I felt so anxious. I felt so brain foggy. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to see anybody. It was awful. And for me, someone that is like surviving this thing that I'm trying to get better from, and then seeing that I can feel so good and then feel so bad from food, it was insane. I mean, I just felt awful about myself. I felt awful about myself. I didn't want to do anything. I was having to force myself to do stuff to feel better. I just felt awful. That was just mentally. Physically, I had this pain in my stomach that would not go away for days. I mean, my stomach felt like it had a horrible cramp in it for days, like a stabbing pain. And that was all because I just wasn't taking as good of care of myself. I wasn't putting the quality of my health first. I was just doing what was convenient. And a lot of taking care of yourself is stepping out of your comfort zone. So I can just tell you from experience how much diet, whole food based diet, nutrition is going to change your life if you just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. You don't have to make these crazy meals. I make a lot of meals that take time. You don't have to make these crazy meals. This morning I made a BLT without bread. I put the lettuce and the tomato and wrapped it in butter lettuce. I'm sorry, I put the bacon and the tomato and wrapped it in butter lettuce, and it was absolutely amazing. You can wrap it in romaine, whatever you want to do, or you can just stir it on some lettuce. It was delicious, and it was filling, and it made me feel good. But it doesn't have to be these fancy meals all the time. It can be basic, plain things that are attainable for anyone. And I highly suggest getting either Practical Paleo or Keto Quick Start, because those are the two I started with. I know the Whole30 is also really good. I'm trying to think that there is another one that I know is really good. Oh, I just got a book in it. It's called The Keto Diet by Leanne Vogel, and I like it so far, and the education behind it is really good. So I would really just highly suggest getting not just um, a a recipe book, but a book that actually explains whole food to you. Eventually, one day, I'm gonna put my plan out to the world, so hopefully it'll manifest. I want to write a mental health cookbook. So the foods that are good for mental health. And what I know for myself, no alcohol, limiting sugar to as little as I can, no added sugar, but in foods, limiting sugar, limiting carbs, eating, so no carbs with no gluten, things like that, eating a whole food based diet, limiting my dairy, and just eating really good quality meats, cheeses, and vegetables, and some fruit. For me, that makes a world of difference. So one day, let's cross our fingers that I get to do that. But I just know that that works for me. And if it worked for me, I don't see why it wouldn't work for other people. And I know that so that's just a part of self-care. And I know that this self-care routine has made an immense difference in me. Like I explained in the last episode, I was like, I hate even saying this, but I was definitely suicidal for a while. And to go from being suicidal in December to feeling like, not every day all day, but I've had happy days that felt like the happiest days of my life. and just changing these small little things, changing my little routine, having these self-care things that I implement. Just, it was such a world of difference. And just from personal experience, going from being suicidal to going to having the happiest days of my life, I just know that it's possible. And it can be possible for anybody because I did it. And I'm just starting. So I can't even imagine how much better I'm going to feel eventually. So yeah, do your routines, take care of yourself, eat well, nourish your body, move, meditate, do these things that make you feel good. Whatever you want to do that makes you feel good, that's healthy, you do that. You don't have to do what I say to do. Do what you need to do that makes you feel good. If that's going to get a massage once a month, then do it. That's going to get your nails done, then do it. Whatever's going to make you feel good about you, do it. Be brave. Take that time for yourself. It is not selfish to leave the kids at home and go do your own thing for an hour a week or an hour a day. Go work out. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. Your life deserves it. So that being said, that's all I got for you today. Again, in the future, we will have guests on the show that will talk about, different holistic living things. If you have any questions or if you have any recommendations or if you would like to be a guest, you can reach out to me either via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Calli Tony CPT on Facebook and Instagram, healinghole_CPT on Instagram. Did I say that right? So on Facebook and Twitter, it's Calli Tony CPT. On Instagram, it is healinghole_CTCPT. So you can message me on any of those platforms, or you can just email me at callitonycpt@gmail.com. Or you can even go to my website. On my website, you can sign up for weekly emails, or you can just kind of write me a little note on there if you are interested in learning about something for the show, or have a question, or if you would like to be a guest or have a referral for a guest. So anyway, thank you for joining me today for another episode of Healing Whole, and I will talk to you guys soon. See you later.